Welcome or welcome back to a channel where we discuss most things the church would never. I'm your host, Miss Nikki, and I appreciate you stopping by. Enjoy. So we are back with another episode of the Hoovering series. I didn't think this was going to be a series, but there's some things that I felt like I left out in the last one, so here I'm back. And as you can tell by the title, we're talking about family. Yes, family can hoover you as well. And I'm going to give you some examples of how that's happened. So, you have family members who are very abusive, who don't know any way of loving you but to be toxic towards you. The closer you get to them, the more you start to see that they're toxic. They may mishandle you by saying things that they shouldn't. You know, those little words that they kind of throw around, little jabs. And they make fun of the way you look, fun of the way you do your hair. If you're trying to fix yourself up, they may say something about it. You know how family members could be. That's just a little example of some of the abuse that you could experience with them. But the hoovering process with a family member is a lot of the times toxic people have a way of thinking that if they do something nice, they could kind of reel you back in. Let's say you stop dealing with that family member. Let's say you distance yourself from them because you don't like the way that you've been treated. So you start to set up a boundary, which is, you know, you're not going to deal with them until they become a little bit more respectful. Or let's say that you've even made it clear that the little jabs that they throw hurt your feelings or make you feel some type of way. Well, they'll make little statements like you're too sensitive and they didn't mean it that way. You know, a lot of the narcissistic characteristics or responses that you would normally hear, these are the responses they give you or the excuses that they give you. They make it your fault and they don't take any accountability for it. Well, here's the hoovering process. They'll do something nice for you. They'll either take you out for your birthday. They'll give you some money. They may even give you a card and slip $20 in there. These are the little things that they do to hoover you back in. But once you start dealing with them again because you have a good heart, right? Because you care for them and they know this. When you love a toxic person, they're not unaware of your love for them. They take advantage of it. So they hoover you back in. And once they get you back in, the cycle starts all over again. Because they don't know any other way to be but to be abusive to the ones that's closest to them. I mean, I've had situations happen where I got taken out to eat because I was mistreated. And I'm talking over the years of growing up, you know, different family members. I won't name names. I'm pretty sure they know who they are, and we'll keep it there. But just know when you have somebody who is in your life, family member, a friend, or a romantic partner, the hoovering situation is real. It is not one to be taken lightly. Pay attention to the way that people treat you and not what they say. Everything that you need to know about a person is always in their actions. If you are dealing with somebody and they constantly, you're always getting into this, it only takes a couple of months or it only takes a couple of weeks for things to go bad, and it's not something you particularly did, but you start to see toxic behavior where they start to shun you or they start to, you know, make fun of somebody picking them over you, or, you know, making, I hope you guys are following me, making situations where, how can I put this? Starting separation between you and somebody else and making themselves seem like they were the chosen pick between you and other people. Just little things like that. When you start to notice behaviors in that way, where this person is picking at you in a way that's indescribable to other people, like you can't quite describe what's happening, this is more spiritual than it is a carnal state of mind. If you can't describe what a person is doing to you, and I mean, I don't care who it is, if it's not being, if you can't put it in layman's terms, what's happening, how you're being mistreated and mishandled, how a person is purposely being insensitive towards you, that's toxic abuse. It doesn't have to be narcissism. It's toxic abuse. And if you distance yourself from them and they still find a way to reach out to you, but this time they're being extra sweet and then it happens all over again, that's toxic abuse. Not only that, the whole situation is that this person is doing it on purpose. And it's a torment from the enemy. This person was sent to torment you. And so you got to wake up and you got to look at it for what it really is. It's not called a hoovering as a joke, but this is a toxic cycle that continues. The person sweetens you up. They get you back in because they're getting you to break your boundaries. They want to be in control of the relationship where they're going to torment you, regardless of how it starts. It starts off sweet. They get you to break your boundaries because you set up a boundary. You said to yourself, I'm not going to allow myself to be hurt anymore. I'm sick of this. This is the same thing over and over again. It's not me. You know, they know that this is how you feel. They know what they're doing. Just because you haven't had the conversation with them does not mean that they're not aware. The enemy, Satan, has sent them into your life to torment you. See, I'm the type of person that if you don't like me, if you feel some type of way about me, stay away from me. But I'm not going to give you the choice to stay away from me. I'm going to take control and I'm going to make sure that you stay away from me. Because, see, I know who I am. I know how I am. And I know if I'm pushed over the edge, certain things may take place. And because I'm not trying to live that type of lifestyle, and because I have children to live for, I'd rather make sure that you stay where you are and I stay where I am. That's as healthy as I could possibly be. I can love you and still feel the same way. I've said this multiple times. I'm ending every toxic cycle in my life that there is. I have no time to allow the enemy in my life to torment me because that person is broken. You can't fix people. And then think about this. When you think you're fixing people, are you giving the Lord his opportunity to fix them? You're not God. Which is why you keep taking a broken heart. You keep getting perplexed and everything else because you're dealing with things that you do not have the tools to handle. That person needs deliverance and you need to let it go. Point blank, period. There's no rest for a person who's dealing with somebody who is that demonically inclined. Let it go. Let God handle his situation. If that person has to fall to the ground because of how toxic they are, let them fall. A lot of the times that's what people need. And they've never been held accountable. When they have family members there to lift them up when they shouldn't be, let them fall on their face. I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm not saying this to be evil. What I'm saying is, a lot of the times people have to go through what they need to go through so that they can change. We don't give them a reason to change if we're always allowing them to repeat the same cycles over and over again, and you're the one that's being tormented. So I hope you guys understood where I was coming from with this. Hoovering is not only for romantic relationships, but family members can do the same thing. So that's it. That's all. I will see you guys on another episode. But I thank God for putting me in this position where I can provide the knowledge. I can provide. Thank you for stopping by. I pray that you were blessed, informed, encouraged, and most of all, inspired. Come back to see what we discuss next. You don't want to miss out.